I'll come to order. Roll call.
Councilor Rousey.
Here.
Councilor Coivinon.
Here.
Councilor Purpich.
Here.
Councilor Lillis.
Here.
Mayor myself.
Here. Item C, approval of minutes, special city council meeting November 25th, minutes of city council meeting December 3rd, minutes of truth and taxation hearing December 3rd, and minutes of city council workshop December 5th. If no one has any questions, changes, or corrections, I'll call for a motion that we approve these minutes. So moved. Motion made by Rousey. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of agenda. We do have a revised agenda here. Everybody got a copy with some items that were taken off. Jackie, do you have any changes?
Yes, Mayor and Council, I'd like to remove number 12. I feel like I need to do a little bit more work before asking you to approve what the changes are, so.
Okay, anybody else have any questions or changes on the agenda? If not, I'll call for a motion that we approve the agenda with that change.
So move. Support.
Motion made by Purpich, support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. No appointments or presentations. Consent agenda. Approval of payroll November 16th through the 30th. Request to carry over vacation and request for Public Works employees to attend Minnesota Rural Water Association Technical Conference, St. Cloud. Anybody have any questions on the consent agenda?
How many are we sending here?
2 for sure, possibly 3 if we can get a test at that time.
They go every-
Testing for your water, wastewater license, and you get credits for your water.
They go every year, I think, for these, don't they, Jer? Yeah.
I think this is something that we send a lot of our people, we encourage that they go for this training because it's a plus for the city and for all the new stuff coming up, so.
Well, one thing with training, you run into people in the same profession and they ran into different experiences and they can tell you how to correct them or deal with them. But if no one has any questions on the consent agenda, I'll call for a motion that we approve it.
So move.
Motion made by Purpich, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. No public hearings, no unfinished business. Under new business, preliminary development agreement with the Overland Group to construct the Dollar General at 408 Vale Road. Anybody have questions on this agreement? If not, I'll call for a motion that we approve this development agreement.
This was signed, right, by them?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So move.
Motion made by Lillis. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 2, introduction and first reading of a proposed ordinance, an interim ordinance temporarily establishing a planning moratorium on clubs and lodges. Anybody have any questions on the ordinance?
Is that for a year, Bobby? What is that, what's the time frame on the moratorium?
I think it is 1 year, yeah.
Gotcha.
Or until we reaffirm or amend our current ordinances, whatever sooner, I think.
Well, since this will be our first reading, can I have a motion that we approve the first reading?
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 3, resolution awarding the sale of general obligation capital note series 2025 in the principal amount of $245,750.
This is for a dump truck that was ordered when, Jerry?
Almost 2 years ago.
Almost 2 years ago. We expect delivery in January.
Wow,
So
years back.
this is the legal instrument that allows us to borrow some money.
Can I interject something here? On the front page, it says that we're commencing at 5 p.m.
Oh. I'll have her change it, no problem. That's just an extra for minutes, we'll fix that, thank you for pointing that out.
All right.
2 years for a dump truck, eh?
Yeah.
Or a garbage
2 years
truck.
ago, when we were for it.
Well, what is it? It's only a year for a squad car, isn't it?
Wait, look at the bright
At
side.
least.
This is the first time in 2 years that nobody smacked it up yet.
I wonder who the public works director will be when we get this.
Yeah, I guess. If no one has any questions, call for a motion that we approve this resolution.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Rousey, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 4, retirement notice from Sherry Lillis, administrative assistant. Do we have to approve this?
You have to accept it.
Oh, except, oh, okay, because I was gonna say,
Absolutely not.
No way.
And
And I
unfortunately,
already told her that.
I have to abstain from voting to a possible or perceived conflict of interest, although it's of absolutely no financial gain whatsoever.
no, you're gonna give her a list of things to do out the lake place. I know how that works.
I think she's gonna get a lot of lake time.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
I'll call for a motion that we accept this notice of retirement from Sherry.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey, we have a support.
Support with the fact that we should, when the time comes, acknowledge.
Send her the appropriate
Send the
letter.
appropriate thank yous.
Yes,
and-
34 plus years, that's
That's a long
quite run.
time.
I don't wanna date myself, but I was here when we hired Sherry.
Isn't that how quick it goes?
That's right.
But I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 5, request to fill administrative assistant position. Does that have to get posted internally first?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
A tough one to fill, but.
And that's seven working days.
Are you making the
correct?
motion,
I'll make the
Joe?
motion.
Motion made by Koivunen. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Lillis. Well, it's getting so complicated, you know, the technology and everything. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 6, authorize posting and advertising for a part-time library clerk.
Now, we have a head librarian and how many?
So we currently have the library director and one part-time clerk, and historically we had 2 part-time employees. We tried to hire back in August of 2023, and the job market was different then. So we're pretty confident that we'll be able to get some qualified folks for that position and get them back up to their full staff.
I think, and the people out there, some realize, some don't, that library is one busy place.
It is.
You know, a lot of people wouldn't think it, and I didn't think it until we got the JT sales. There's people morning, noon, and night going in there, and I think it's a great thing, and I think they need the help, so we can do what we gotta do.
I'm proud to say I use it quite a bit, but now with the upgrades that we had there, both electrical and, internet should be better and be more useful to everybody.
If no one has any questions, I'll call for motion that we authorize the posting and advertising for a part-time library clerk.
So moved.
Motion made by Purpich, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Koivunen, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Number 7, legislative priorities. Jack, you want to elaborate on that?
So, Jerry Rosati, Bob Studio Development Consultant, and Councilor Brian Willis, and I met with the folks that we hired as lobbyists, that's Jeff Anderson, and had a nice conversation, and talked about kind of many items you have talked about, that staff had an idea, and since they know the interworkings of the legislature and who's who and who's got the money and where we could probably be successful, they suggested that we pick 2 items to be our legislative priorities. And the 2 items that they felt that we could have the most success on is a bill that would exempt the city of Eveleth from the match requirements for the housing grants for the bank and guiding water. Okay, that's number one. And then number two is a bill on the request regarding wastewater treatment plant that I'll let Jerry talk about.
Yeah, as you know, the last few years, we've been dealing with the NPC on getting a permit for the wastewater plant. And we have to make, we're mandated to make standards on phos and mercury over the next 5 years, I think we have that. And we've been doing extensive testing, modeling. So we're spending a lot of money up front, and we might be able to recover some of those costs through this bill. So he suggested us get this into him, and he can start fighting for that, and hopefully get some money for these upfront costs. There'll be grants once we get to go and build, but you always have to come up front with the cost, and we've been spending a lot of money for wastewater plant over the last 3 years, testing and modeling, like I said, and all that good stuff. So hopefully we can get on the bill for some money for it. But he said we might have a good chance.
Oh, good.
I'd just like to say that it was a pretty positive experience for me to attend that meeting because I got a firsthand look at who's representing us down there, and they're a couple of pretty sharp fellows.
Well,
They had a lot of information for us, and they had have a lot of contacts and a lot of things that they do for us. So I encourage anybody that has a chance to meet with them in the future to sit down and do so, because it was enlightening. I guess I didn't appreciate just what they do for us. It was interesting. Very professional people.
It's harder to blow us off when you have representation at the table.
Right.
And from what I know, it's good representation because they helped us last year, and I think I've said it before, it's money well spent, and it's good for the city.
Anybody else have any questions on the priorities and we in agreement to go with those?
Oh, Jackie, they didn't say how tough it would be to put the bill through or get a bill. Do other communities do this too? Around here that
Yes,
Don't-
they've had experience in the past of getting bills that provide exemptions to grant requirements. And also he indicated that funding of infrastructure is going to be a huge priority, especially for our local people here on the range.
well, it has to be a plus or a direction that we have to go certainly with the. All right.
Well, the no match makes it a lot more swallowable.
Yes, it does.
It's, yeah, because it's hard to come up with a match for $1 million.
Yep. We don't have anybody ask for it.
Anybody else have any questions or comments on the priorities? Do you need a motion to approve them?
Please.
Okay, call for a motion that we approve these as our legislative priorities. Motion made by Lillis, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Purpich, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. Item 8, school campus concept plans and budget. Anybody have any comments or additional? If not, I'll call for a motion then that we'll approve the school campus concept plan and budget.
So move.
Motion made by Purpich, you have a support.
Support.
Support by Koivunen, any further discussion?
Do we own any of this yet?
No.
Okay.
We haven't signed the purchase agreement yet, this been
Gotcha.
modified and
Yeah, I know how that goes. I
Just
just,
remember how long it took to get the
junior high?
junior high, which I think was a year or two, if not longer.
Well, there's no title, you know what they did back then.
Shaking a hand.
Yeah, ask the mining company, can we build a school in the city? He goes,
Do
I
they-
don't care, and that was that.
I know we had like 19 properties that had to be retitled, right? On the junior high property, right, Joe? It was somewhere in that, because all the lots were 50 footers and they were all put together. And there was like 19 that had to be retitled before we got the junior high property, correct?
That was probably the original plat before the
Oh, yeah.
school.
Yeah, well, is that the same thing going on with the school?
No,
No, I believe that the school district has already cleaned up those type of issues
Okay,
on the
Yeah.
originals.
all right.
But we're still looking at the transaction occurring in 25.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe
The
it'll
actual,
be early 25.
where you gotta write the check.
Thank you.
Do we get a motion on this? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 9, resolution adopting budget for year 2025. Any questions on that? If not, call for a motion that we approve the 2025 budget.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Is that 8%?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I thought a little higher would have been okay, but you didn't seem to be too receptive the other day.
We started at 10 and we were able to drop it to 8, so we still get all our stuff.
Still get all our stuff
That's what
done.
makes the world go round.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Resolution establishing tax for year 2025. Any questions? Call for a motion that we approve this resolution.
So move.
Got a support? Do we have a second?
Support.
Motion made by Purpich, support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 11, 2025 discretionary expenditures. Anybody have any questions on those? If not, I'll call for a motion that we approve the 2025 discretionary expenditures.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen, do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Purpich, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We jump to item 13. 2025 City of Eveleth Animal Control Contract with Contented Critters.
You know, when we first started this with Contented Critters, I was nervous because I knew what their backgrounds were and they were just kind of getting going. And then we went with their service and their service has been great. I mean, it's been good for the city. What do you think, Brian? You've been following their year.
It's been a lot better than the previous,
I mean, I gotta give my hats off. I'm all for them now because they do a good job, so.
They're working out a little bit better to make delivery to Pup North.
And they're still going up to Ely?
they're based on illegal and still logging animals at Pup North, so it's close for us.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Motion made by Koivunen, support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 14, request to sell forfeited vehicle. What do we do? Do we send them to do bid? Like,
You have to pick in the past and do bid with the
Okay.
auction.
all right. Anybody have any questions
No
on that?
one's come back to claim them or?
Most of these are forfeited vehicles, would be where they're forfeited.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Kind of shapes that Fusion in.
well, it's been sitting down there for a year. You
And
never
if
know.
Jerry hasn't got his fingers on it, he don't want it, so.
Call for a motion that we approve the request to sell forfeited vehicle.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Purpich, support by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Item 15, rotation of police vehicles. Anybody have any questions for Brian on that?
The new vehicle's here?
Yep, the mechanic squad is here.
Is that the silver on the side?
Yep.
I kinda saw it go by and said, you must have got it. I came in, so.
Nice looking rig.
All different ways.
Bear just great in the back and still growls at everything.
It's even nice, but his bark is not quite as long.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that when I come to the meeting today.
This is pretty routine, correct? Yeah.
Anybody have any questions? Brian, if not, call for a motion that we approve the rotation of police vehicles.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Resolution accepting donation of what is this, that
It's
plain?
plein air.
Plein air oil painting of the Eveleth Public Library.
Now, I gotta say, I hadn't heard about this, and I'm really sorry I didn't. But then when I turned the page over and I looked at it, I was thinking, she must have been doing this during the construction period over there, right?
Summertime.
And she must have been across the street when she did this. I think it's pretty neat.
She has an artistic license.
Yeah, unlike me.
Portray it the way that she feels is represented. Where is it going at the library? Oh, it's gonna be hung inside?
Yeah.
It's a 14 by 14 that I see?
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice.
Call for a motion that we adopt a resolution accepting the painting and send a letter of thanks from the city of Eveleth for that.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen, do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Rousey, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 17, cooperative agreement with St. Louis County regarding city hydrant relocations on County State Aid Highway 142. That's the new Progress Parkway extension.
That, having read through this, there's no cost to the city of Eveleth, right, John?
Yeah, no, there won't be any costs. So we'll be working with Alan here and just sort of locating a few of our hydrants that we have set up for.
Right, yeah. That's what I figured.
You won't be digging a trench from here to Gilbert, in other words.
Well, you're probably looking a year and a half out on this, eh?
Well, that's this summer coming up. This summer's when we're starting all those roundabout projects and bridges.
Oh, okay.
So, right after school gets over, I guess everything's going.
Will be known as the Red Barrel City.
The timetable was to do the bridges and the roundabouts at the same time?
Same time?
And, also,
Oh, it's gonna be interesting out there. You know, they must have a plan, I just don't know what it is yet, I guess we'll see it when it gets here.
if they want it done by the end of the year, so.
Well, I know that they're gonna get it and go fast at it, but it just,
We have a very small window and it's a very big project, both on all ends, so.
And we have water and sewer lines going on at the same time, so getting some new stuff going.
Well, I don't
What
know.
a fun.
So it's gonna be crazy over the summer.
Anybody else have any questions on agreement with St. Louis County? If not, I'll call for a motion that we accept that cooperative agreement.
So move.
Motion made by Purpich, we have a support.
sport.
Support by Koivunen, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye, opposed, motion carried. Number 18, closed session for labor negotiations pursuant to Minnesota statute. At this time, I'm gonna call for a motion that we go into closed session, discuss the labor agreement.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey, do we have a support? Support. Support by Lillis, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Mr. Mayor, when do public people, when we get to talk, you told us yesterday.